yourself, folks? It's your boy here. Just small, getting right back into it with yet again another reaction. And today we have 10 insane world records of all time. You folks kind of enjoyed the last video. As you can see, we're trying something new. As you can see, we're trying to improve, we're trying to get better as we're going on. A lot of people were asking about having the video of the reaction, well, the video that I was reacting to on the video instead of just showing the screen, etc. So now we finally can do that, and I'm so happy that I finally found an editing software and an editing app that I can do all that on, and the quality is still very, very good with 60 frames per second. It's actually called VivaCut. It's actually very, very useful. If you guys are struggling with setups, etc., I would suggest you all go and purchase, well, actually, it's free. The only thing that you have to purchase is actually just your kind of membership monthly, and it's not too expensive either. It's actually fairly cheap. But that's the new app that I've been using, and it is pretty damn great. So like I said, we've got a brand new reaction today and got a brand new jumper on. Hey, let's get it. We've got 10 insane world records of all time, and we're going to react to them. But just before we do that, make sure you click subscribe and click that bell so you never miss an upload. Okay? Thank you. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Come on over and join the family. Let's get straight into this. Alright. Let's do it.
Sometimes the internet is the best place to find challenges and all sorts of ideas to push ourselves beyond our limits to try new things. I mean, unless it's something harmful, like most of those prank challenges. However, there are some pretty cool ones, mainly the idea of breaking a world record. Wouldn't it be cool to one day find your name on the Book of Guinness World Records? It would be pretty cool in my opinion. All you need is some courage and determination, and of course, some safety.
You've got to have massive balls to do all that sort of shit.
Better left untried. Today we're going to take a look at 10 Guinness World Records that can't be broken.
Nice.
Or, well, you could try, but I doubt many people out there would dare to give these a try. You'll be surprised when you see what number 1 had to do in order to make it to this list. And trust me, it's not a thing you'd like to consider on a normal basis. With all that said and done, let's begin, shall we?
Let's get into it.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Heaviest weight supported by a human tongue.
Eh?
What's the heaviest food you've eaten? That's a question no one really asks, because usually when we eat, we never really think about the weight of food.
Well,
but
no,
things
we don't.
are a bit different for Thomas Blackthorne, who lifted 11 kilos worth of weight with, well, his tongue. That's right, he had his tongue pierced by a hook that was able to hold 4 weights. He lifted those 11 kilos with the strength of his tongue and held them for about 5 seconds. What's even more impressive is that this was done without getting hurt. It took him 6 years to prepare for this moment, and it doesn't seem like anyone will ever be able to challenge him. He broke the record in 2004, and since then the only person who's been able to take on the challenge is Thomas Blackthorne himself. He went on again and broke the record 3 times in a row.
How many?
Before we move on,
He went and did it himself and broke it. Oi, mad respect.
So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash
gotta
that
get that
subscribe button, and hit the notification bell.
I'll give it to you, mate. I'll give it to you.
Amazing luck.
You know what?
Try it.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Number 9.
Alright, number 9.
Most one-handed push-ups.
Oi!
Workouts require a lot of discipline and determination in order to get us good results. And if you want to break a world record that involves a workout, then you're in for a lot of sweating, sore muscles, and tons of pain.
Yeah.
However, that didn't stop athlete Patty Doyle from setting a few records that are now hard to break.
Jeez.
One of the most impressive of them is most one-arm push-ups completed in 5 hours.
Yee!
Who comes up with these record ideas?
Yeah.
Anyway?
That's what I'm wondering as well. Who comes up with these ideas for world records?
Which means that he did a little more than 1,000 of them for every hour that he was there.
Oh, how many?
In addition to such an odd accomplishment,
He did 1,000 an hour? I can barely do 5 nowadays. I can barely do 5.
The list of
I've been getting
accomplishments
better. I've been
goes
getting
on,
better.
as
I've
he
been
also
doing it
set records in other
off camera
disciplines
and
such
that.
as sit-ups, step-ups, burpees, and backpack.
I've been doing a lot of planking as
The
well. I've
man
been
is a
doing a lot of
legend, and
planking.
certainly an inspiration for all those who are into health and fitness, though I wouldn't suggest trying to break these records anytime soon. Number 8. Most atomic blasts survived.
Eh?
I guess it's quite obvious
No.
why no one will ever be able to break this record. I mean, it would require a tragic event to happen, and we certainly don't want that. But Tsutomu Yamaguchi fairly gained a spot on this list by being the man who survived the most atomic blasts in a lifetime.
What?
On 2 different occasions, Mr. Yamaguchi was able to escape death and live longer to tell his story. In the summer of 1945, he had traveled to Hiroshima when the first atomic bombing happened. The explosion left him temporarily
Jesus.
blind and with serious burns and ruptured eardrums. But that didn't keep him from going back to work in Nagasaki, only 3 days later after the
3
incident.
days?
He was reporting to his supervisors when
Oh,
the
he's-
Batman atomic bomb impacted their city. This time,
Yeah.
however, Mr. Yamaguchi didn't get hurt.
He's a real
In
one.
2009, Yamaguchi became the only person in Japan to be recognized as a survivor of both bombings.
Bloody
He passed
hell.
away at the age of 93
So he survived
in the year
2.
2010. However, he spent his life advocating to stop the use of atomic and nuclear bombing. Hopefully, no one has to go through this ever again, or at least that much. Number 7. Pulling an airplane. What would you say to people who claim
Oh,
they're
it's
able
Santa
to
Claus.
move an airplane by simply using their strength? You probably think they're crazy, and that's exactly how people felt back in 2009 when priest Kevin Fast told them that he was going to pull an airplane.
Jeez.
He was able to do it over the length of 8.8
He's a priest
meters,
as well.
and he even claims that he could have gone a bit further if there hadn't
Yes,
been a
Father.
finish
Can
line. Over
contact
the
that
years,
Holy
he has been able to break a
Spirit.
few world records with the use of his strength.
Contact
He
that
has used
Holy
the money
Spirit,
he raises
Father.
from his stunts to go to charities. With the airplane event, he was able to make $65,000 alone. Imagine all the money he has raised by pulling trucks and other heavy means of transportation. When he's not busy
Like,
training his muscles,
a
he
fire
spends his time
truck's
conducting
not too
weddings
bad.
and
A
baptisms in
plane?
his home country of
A
Canada.
plane?
Number 6. Hit by lightning. A park ranger in Virginia named Ray Sullivan got recognition after being hit by lightning 7 times in his life. I'm
7?
not sure if
How was he
going through this
alive?
is considered good luck or bad luck, but the important thing is that Ray survived each and every incident. Since the Guinness World Records were able to document all the scary moments he went through, Ray got a spot on their list. He says that one of the incidents happened one day while he was on a road in the mountains. He had the window of his truck open, and that's where the lightning came through after reflecting onto a tree. He fell unconscious while most of the hair on his body began to burn. All of this while his truck got to a stop right on the edge of a deadly cliff.
Holy
Also
shit.
in 1973, he was performing some of his duties when he noticed a storm cloud that was following him. He tried to get away, and just when he thought the cloud was gone, he got out of his truck only to be struck by lightning, once again setting his hair on fire. Luckily, this time he remained conscious. He had gotten so used to these events that he now had a can of water that he always kept in his truck. That is what helped to put out the fire on his head. It all sounds painful.
You expected him to
but
turn into the
at least he got
Flash or
some
something.
recognition. Number 5. Tallest man alive.
Oi.
There are tall people and there are incredibly tall people. However, I doubt any of them compare to Sultan Kosan, the tallest man in the world at 2.5 meters tall, or 8'2" if you measure him in American standards.
8'2"?
He was named the tallest man in the world back in 2010, taking the title from Bao Jishun, a Chinese
Yo,
man who
he
was only
looked
20
like a
centimeters shorter
giant
than
next
Kosan.
to me, man.
Apparently, Sultan's impressive height was a result of
I'm
an excess of
5'2".
growth hormone in his body. The condition caused a tumor that had to be
He's
removed. That's
3
when he finally
feet.
stopped growing. He came to the
3
public's
feet
attention after
taller
someone
than
tried
me.
to recruit him to play basketball.
3.
However, his physical condition didn't allow him to practice such a sport. But it allowed the
Honestly,
people to notice that he was taller than anyone
What?
else alive.
8'2"?
Will someone ever break this record in the near future?
That
Doesn't seem
phone
like it,
doesn't
but
look like
hey,
a phone in
only
his
time will
hand.
tell. Number 4. Eating airplanes.
Eh?
We've actually featured this man in a couple of our videos about dangerous world records, and we have to bring this up again. The man who eats airplanes and a bunch of other stuff. It is obvious that not many people, or maybe no one at all,
You
actually
see his
is even
teeth?
considering doing the things that this man did. Michael Latito earned a spot in the Book of Records by having the strangest diet. He ate a lot of things that are considered indigestible, such as metal, rubber, and other strange materials that no one else would ever put in their mouths. Bicycles, beds, computers, you name it. If it sounds
Eh?
crazy, he's
How-
probably
I'm sorry,
tried
but
to
how
eat
could you
it.
look
But the
at-
most admired thing
how
he ate
could you
was an
look
entire aircraft.
at
And
a
it took
bike?
him around 2
Hey, God,
years
you
to
know
complete
what?
the task.
That looks
It
tasty.
accomplished just between
That's a
the
bit
years
of meat.
1978 to 1980.
How?
And the people who saw it
How?
knew that he had no difficulty while
How?
chewing on this stuff. Michael died of natural causes in 2007, 10 days after he turned 57. but he spent 41 of those years working on his peculiar diet. Now we remember him as the man who ate
Is
a
that a
plane,
razor blade?
and I doubt
He's
we
got
will
a
see someone
fucking
else like
razor
him
blade
in
in
our
his mouth.
lifetime, or at least someone as successful as him
And
in
he
our
ate
lifetime.
it.
Number 3.
He's a madman.
Most lawsuits. Sometimes when we are frustrated at the way things are handled, we feel the strong need to start a lawsuit. But what does it take for someone to get things to court? It is quite a process, and not every legal fight is worth it. However, nothing stopped Jonathan Lee Riches from becoming the holder of the Guinness World Record for filing the most lawsuits. He accomplished that by hitting the outstanding number of 4,000 lawsuits on numerous companies and individuals during his lifetime. In fact, he even filed a lawsuit against the Guinness Book of World Records because they included him in their book. After serving time in prison, he was released at the end of the
He's
year
a bit of a
2012,
funny, really,
an
isn't he?
unstoppable series of lawsuits.
You
For that
don't look
reason, he
tough,
is now
lad.
called
You don't look
Superman.
tough.
And some of the people he has sued
come on
include
in.
Bill Gates, President Bush, and even Pope
That's
Benedict
literally what he
XVI.
was like. Come on.
Now it's time for the day's best pick.
Oh.
The picture I chose for today is one of someone on a bicycle going down towards a very scary hole in the water. That doesn't seem like it's something I'd ever like to try, but if there's something we can learn today, it's that most of the world records that can't be broken required someone to try something crazy that no one else would. On that note, let's see what we have at the top. Number 2. Most world records. It only made sense to include the person who holds the record of having the most world records, and it doesn't seem like he's someone we could easily take down from his glory. At 62 years old, Ashrita Furman holds 200 world records, but in fact he has broken 550 records in his life. It's just that 350 of them were already taken from him, but we still have a long way to go if we want to take the remaining 200 from him. And even if other people manage to break the records that he holds, I doubt anyone would ever hold as many records as he did. For Ashrita, it all started in 1979 when he was a store manager in Brooklyn, New York, and he decided to break the world record for the most jumping jacks. He managed to do it by doing 27,000 of them. After that, he went on to show off his abilities in other activities, such as longest underwater cycling distance, longest distance balancing a milk bottle on his head, fastest mile in somersaulting, and fastest mile on a kangaroo ball. The list goes on, and today it doesn't seem like anyone else would do all the things he's done in a lifetime. Number 1.
Alright, number 1 pick.
Surviving death.
Eh?
You'll probably not find this in the Guinness book because I'm sure they wouldn't like anyone to compete. However, it has been documented that the person who has survived death the most is Michael Malloy. He was 50 years old when some of his acquaintances conspired to kill him in order to collect life insurance.
Oi, pagans,
First,
man!
they tried to intoxicate him with ridiculous amounts of alcohol, hoping Malloy would drink himself to death. But he survived.
No, we're
Then
human
they replaced
beings,
his
we
drink
know
for
how to drink.
antifreeze, but the substance did not kill him.
Must have been
They
Irish
then
or
tried
British.
other forms of torture, such as rat poison, raw oysters, spoiled sardines, and other tactics that still didn't work. Finally, they managed to send him to the hospital after dumping him in the cold and pouring water on his chest. Once he was at the hospital, they put a rubber hose in his mouth and fixed the other end to a gas outlet. After 1 hour, Malloy finally died. The conspirators would have gotten away with the scheme, except for the fact that the police found out what they did and sent them to the electric chair.
Yeah.
They were not as lucky as Malloy, as they all died on the first try. But one thing is for sure,
Dickheads,
no one has
man.
ever survived extreme causes of death
Taking
as
that
many
man's
times
life
as
away
Malloy
from
did.
him.
I don't think many of us would like to try breaking any of these records, but I could be wrong on that
Yeah.
one. Are there any records on this list that you think you might break one day? Let us know in the comment section down below. With all that said and done, that's our video for today, folks, and I will see you all next time. Later, everybody.
Alright, folks, that's it. That is 10 insane world records of all time. That was a very interesting video. Some of them were mental. Some of those were crazy. Death one, really, the surviving death, that really surprised me. But that is going to be it from me today, folks. If you would like to see more stuff like this in the near future, you know what you have to do. You gotta click subscribe. Then you click the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And also, crush that like button if you thoroughly enjoy what you've seen. And also get down in the comments section and tell me what you enjoyed, if you'd like to see more stuff like this. And also, tell me where I can improve for this year. That's going to be it from me today, folks. I'll catch you all next time. See you now. Take care. And
I'm always waiting for you. I'm always waiting
Bye.